Hey guys, welcome back to another Vigor video, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a full beginner's guide along with some pro tips and tricks to help you guys improve out in the Outlands. Vigor is a brand new game to PS4. It is a survival looter shooter with the main goal is to go out into the Outlands, find materials, and to build up your shelter. And of course, there's a twist. If you die with anything out in the Outlands, you lose it all. So to stop yourself from losing all of your juicy loot, you gotta know how to outmatch your competition. Before we get into the video, I just want to say that I am 92 subs away from 1,000, and if you guys found anything here useful, or if you're learning anything new, or if this helped you out at all, please hit that like and sub button. I would really appreciate it. It would really help out a lot. And of course, if I missed anything, leave a comment down below if you're still confused or stuck on something, and I will update you in the comments with how I can help. Now without further ado, let's get into the video. The first thing we want to talk about, this is the the biggest thing. It's the whole point of the game. It's building your shelter, materials, food, and crowns. So the materials that you get from the game, that are used to craft different weapons, ammo, consumables, and just about anything you can craft, you have to have materials. You can save a lot of those up. You can deconstruct things that you don't want for materials. Like if you don't want this AK, bam, that's 381 materials you can use to craft other ammo and other weapons in the game. That's what materials are used for. Now food was very confusing when I first started playing the game. I didn't understand what it was for. I thought it was like for healing myself. But food, you can actually use it to donate to get crates. You go to this back part of your shelter and you can donate your food for a crate. The more food, the better crate you get. There's a donation will be collected in, and it's 5 days, 16 hours. So within 5 days, with how much food you donate, you will get one of these crates or more, depending on how much food you donate. Crowns, they're probably the in-game. This is the in-game currency. You can use these to buy things in the store, like cosmetics, or you can even use them to buy the battle pass, which costs 690 crowns. But you can get this battle pass completely for free as long as you save up these crowns. There's lots of free crowns to get in the battle pass. You get them out of crates, and you get them from your daily challenges. Right now I don't have any, but you can get 690 crowns completely for free and get this battle pass and everything inside completely for free. So if you are new to this game, save your crowns. Very, very useful. You can use them to upgrade crates while you're in the game. You can use them to upgrade the amount of materials you can get to help build your shelter from the game. They're probably the most useful things inside the game are crowns. In this part of the video, we're going to be talking about blueprints. Blueprints are the things you need, what they call weapon plans. They're basically blueprints. They're the things that you need to actually build your weapon. There's two ways to build weapons and ammo and other consumables. You either have a weapon plan or a consumable plan, or you get parts for that weapon or that consumable. If you have parts, when you craft them, they will be crafted immediately and put into your stash. But if you're using a weapon clan and your materials, there's a timer on specific weapons. For a P90, the timer is 6 hours. It'll take 6 hours for your P90 to craft. For an AUG, an hour and 30 minutes. And the rarity, it lowers the time. Blue combat magnum 20 minutes, green 20 minutes. Sometimes it changes depending on how good or the weapon is. Gray, usually 1 minute. Stronger weapons take longer, 5 minutes. Knives, 5 seconds. There's timers on these blueprints. To get the blueprints, you have to get them through crates. If you open crates, you'll know they're blueprints because they'll have a tiny weapon and a little piece of paper in the back. This right here, this is a blueprint, weapon plan. The more you can get a lot of the common ones out of the common crates. Like right here, I got a plan for some bandages. These little swirly parts with the gun at the bottom, those are the parts for weapons to craft them immediately. Different rarity crates equal different rarity of weapon plans. Sometimes you can get gray inside them and gold, but it mainly goes on rarity. Blue, you can get some purple parts, you know. So that's where you get the weapon plans and the blueprints from. And yeah. First waypoint we talk about on the map is the barred or barred house. It is a house that is barricaded in the windows or doors, and inside there is a safe. Find the safe. It's usually behind barricadation. Yep, like this. You hold square and it gets rid of some of the barricade. But as soon as you get inside and you touch the safe, it lets everybody know the safe's being unlocked. So everyone on the map knows that you're unlocking the safe. This is where you are. Now this gets confusing for new players because it says safe is being unlocked on the map. There's something called the time safe. When it says safe's being unlocked, that means they're inside the barred or barred house. The next waypoint location we're talking about on the map is the time safe. Just like the barred house, it'll tell people exactly where you are and how you're doing it. Instead of telling you that the safe is being opened, you'll hear the sound. That means that somebody has pushed the button and they're opening the time safe. There are two buttons to open it. The first one is just on the map. You'll hear a buzzing sound when you're near the button. The next one could actually be pretty far away. You might have to do some running, but just like the other one, you'll hear a buzzing sound when you're nearby. After you push those two buttons, you have to do it within a short time period or else they'll reset. So once you find the two, push them as fast as you can and the safe will be opened. The next waypoint we'll be talking on the map is the signal detector. It's very simple. You activate it and it tells you where the rest of the enemies are on the map. It won't show you where the enemies are moving. It'll just show you exactly where they are the second you hit the signal detector. So I've got one right here, enemy right here. They're all in these areas. They won't move. It just tells you where they are the second you hit the signal detector. The next waypoint we'll be talking about on the map is the comm station. It allows you to control the airdrop. There's 4 helpers and there's 4 ambushes. The helpers and ambushes don't just go for your team, they also go for the enemies. And if you have a helper, they go for the enemies too. It works both ways. The first helper is to reinforce, just adds ammo, consumables to the airdrop. The second one will be quick release, it opens the airdrop quicker. The third one is decoy. It places a fake airdrop on the map to throw the enemies off. And the last one is to relocate it to wherever you want. Now the ambushes, there's booby trap. It places a bomb inside the airdrop, so the enemies and you, it goes for you too. You have to solve a puzzle or else the airdrop will blow you up. There's decoy, which makes a fake box near the real one. Oversized is it makes the person holding the airdrop really heavy and slow. And radioactive, when you pick up the airdrop, the radiation will start early. The next waypoint on the map we're going to talk about is the lock container. This is going to go into the second part of the video where I talk about how to unlock the locks. But there's 3 locks in the lock container. Once they're all unlocked, there's 2 on the sides, there's 1 on top. Once they're all unlocked, it'll open up and there'll be a supply crate inside with lots of loot and materials so you can upgrade your shelter. Now the locks, to open them, you move them up and down. If you have controller vibration on, it'll vibrate when you're on the right number. If you don't, you can listen for the different sound it makes. It's like a louder click. You get them all, and then it unlocks. The third one is on top, and it's going to be really difficult to get because you're very vulnerable. People can shoot you. But once you're inside, there's lots of loot. The only way to get on top of the container is to jump at the letter F on the side of the container. This does make you very vulnerable. You have to be very careful. But it's really easy to open. And it has lots of loot inside. The last waypoint we're going to talk about on the map is the Disruptive Tower. Basically, it's very simple. You find it, you hit the button, and everybody within a large circle will have their maps, their waypoints. Everything will be turned off. They won't be able to see where the drop is. They won't be able to see where the other waypoints are, the exit zones. I think they'll still be able to see those, I'm not sure. But it just turns everything off within like this big, kind of the same size as the airdrop area. Except it'll be right around here. But if you use this on a team mode, it also turns your teammates' HUDs off too. So you gotta be very careful that you're the only one in this zone. The next thing that we're going to move on to is aiming. To better understand and improve your aim, because this game, it is kind of funny how the aiming works. First thing you need to understand is the crosshairs. When standing, you can see the crosshairs are more wide, more spread out. It makes your shots more accurate and harder to hit your target. But if you notice that you crouch, they get tighter together. This, in my opinion, is the best way to shoot and kill your enemies. But if you are good, or if you can drop shot, laying down completely closes your crosshairs. Everything will be completely and totally accurate if you shoot between these crosshairs. Crouching, it does open up more, but it is still very accurate, and this is usually how I shoot for the most part. Very, very accurate. You'll notice though that if you continue to shoot, the crosshairs get wide. You're going to want to, if you're using a burst weapon, you're going to want to pace your shots, kind of wait for them to reclose a little bit, and you continue to shoot. Full autos, it's a little different. With the MP5, standing up, it's almost exactly the same as this M16 crouching. The MP5 is very, very accurate. Crouching is pretty much just the same way it is laying down. It's probably the most accurate SMG to use. But if you spray it, it goes fully wide, which is very inaccurate. So the better improve your aim is to line your crosshairs. I wouldn't really use aim down your sights that much, unless you're for sure you hit your shots. As you can see, it counts a lot. I prefer, in most encounters, if it doesn't have a scope, I usually stay in third person. Crouching is by far the best way to kill your enemies. The second enemy runs up on you, if you run up on them, just crouch, aim, and start shooting. And make sure you pace your shots so the crosshairs don't open up too wide. If you can see, then my crosshair color is red. It's a different color from what you normally have, which is white. You can go into your options, go to game, and you can actually change the crosshair color. There's lots of different colors to choose from. It's kind of like a purplish pink. I feel like that really does help when shooting your enemies. You can definitely do that. But another thing that really goes into this is, of course, your sensitivity. For my third person, I do want it to have it faster than I do in first person. Just a little bit, not too much so that it throws me off. I will have a sensitivity shown at the end of the video if you guys, want to improve your sense. But the crosshairs, definitely pay attention to the crosshairs with different weapons you use. Standing is not as accurate. Crouching is probably the most accurate to use during a gunfight. Even far away, it is probably the best one to use. It's very, very accurate. This next trick is probably the best and probably the most useful trick you'll ever come up with, especially when it comes to people camping in houses or behind a thin wall, you actually can shoot through walls. Not all walls. There's certain walls you can and cannot shoot through. Like if it's like thin, like these pallets, you can definitely shoot through these. It won't do as much damage, but it really helps because people won't really, they're not going to understand it being shot through a wall. I mean, it's through a wall. Not a lot of people know you can shoot through them. You can catch a lot of people off guard. I'm going to add some clips of me shooting a few players through walls to show you just how well it can really work out. This is probably the most beneficial tip and trick I can teach you because it really helps with them house camping. Because you can shoot through walls. Oh.
Plane is coming. Prepare to fight for the airdrop. Say you are a killer.
The next trick I'm going to be telling you guys about is camera angles. If there is an enemy on the other side of you and you can't quite see them without exposing your body, you can click R1 to change your camera angle, which allows you to see them even better and shoot from the left side or the right side depending on where the enemy is or where you want to look. Very useful. It'll probably save your life a lot. This next thing I want to talk about, I don't have any clips of it because I haven't ran into any players who set them off, or I haven't set them off myself, but we're going to talk about crows. If you're playing a game and you hear a bunch of crows just start flocking out of nowhere and they start, caw-caw, crow things, that's a player nearby. If you can see the crows flying out, or if you hear them in a certain direction, there's a player in that direction where those crows came from. That's very useful to know, where players are on the map or how close they are to you. Is if you see some crows flying out of nowhere, they're making noise, a player is in that area. You have to be very careful. And lastly, I'm going to leave my settings at the end of the video. As I said, I'm just going to show you guys exactly my sense, what I do, what I mean when I, put things a certain way. I'll get the looking. This is just, looking back and forth, up and down, X and Y. I kind of play on a slow sense. I just feel like it helps me out a lot, being slow, more accurate. Third person aiming, that's when you have your gun out and you can see your crosshairs. Always keep your Ys above your X's. It's just for better accuracy that way. Always keep your Ys above your X's. First person, it's just a little slower than third person, just helps stay accurate. And for the advanced controls, this is kind of where I changed a little bit of things up. Dead zones, I didn't touch those at all. But these things, all the accelerations and the ramp ups, turn them all the way down. You just want to control your sensitivity from the first page of X's and Y's. The ramp ups kind of could throw you off. Once you hit a certain speed, it'll start to speed your aiming up even more. It just throws you off. All the ramp ups and accelerations, the move exponent, turn those all down. Inner and outer dead zone, I left those where they are. Aim in, zoom exponent, I left those where they are. Dead zones, I left them all. All I did was turn down the ramp ups, the move exponent, the accelerations. Only control with the first page of X's and Y's. Like I said, you can change your reticle color, crosshair color. That's what I do. I keep it on red. It's easier for me to see what I'm shooting at. Audio, I usually have music all the way down. Radio voice down. You just want to hear all those footsteps, the crows, the gunshots. Brightness 55, contrast 50 is just like a second brightness. It kind of just changes the way your game looks. Just kind of keep that 50, 55, 55 looks way better. I'm gonna keep it here. Yeah, that's the sensitivity. If I went too fast, you guys could pause the video. Like I said in the beginning, these videos that I make take a lot of time, a lot of effort. If you've learned something new, or if this has helped you out a lot, or just a little bit, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'll be making more Vigor videos later on. I will be you know, uploading my high kill games. Anytime I change my sense, I'll update you guys, you know, find a better sensitivity. You know, if you learn something new, if this helped you out at all, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm so close to 1K. And yeah, that's it.